Greetings in the name of the Most High Yah. It's your boy King Yadiya, aka King Solomon, staying wise in life and in these markets. And right now I'm in a live trade on CADJPY. Let me just go over here. Alright, but anyway, let me just walk you through how I found this trade. We'll get to the trade in a second. So right now we're on the daily chart of CADJPY, and as you can see, we're pulling back here from this uptrend. Let's see, let's make that a little smaller. Alright, so you can see we're in a clear uptrend. We have the breakout and the retest. So right now these are monthly Camarilla pivots that I have on my chart. Let me just situate the chart here. Hold on a second. Alright. Right, so these are the monthly pivots that I have here right now on the daily chart. So you can see we found support at the S3. That's a good place to find support. So we could probably get a bounce from here straight up to R3. So I'm looking forward to catching a piece of that. So I took a long trade or a buy entry. So let me break down how I found this trade. So go into the futures, right? We're on the 4-hour chart of the futures, and as you can see, we found some support here at yesterday's S3, and now we kind of bounced up, found support at S2, and then we opened here at let's see, let me get the exact, and these are the daily Camarillas on the Canadian futures. So we found support at yesterday's S2. We opened at R1, pushed up to R3, and then we broke R3. So we're looking very strong in the Canadian dollar on the futures side of things. This is SC1. So we're pushing up now up to R4. And then I was looking at UK oil to see how UK oil was doing. And we were in a downtrend because you know UK, well, oil is directly connected to the Canadian dollar because Canada exports a lot of oil. So when you sell it, when oil is doing good, Canadian dollar will do good. And as you can see, the oil price has been dropping, so the Canadian dollar has been dropping as well. So it's a correlation chart between UK oil and Canadian dollar futures. So this is what I saw here at the open. Let me drop down to like the 1 hour so we could get some more detail. So we open here and we started to push up, right? But now we're getting a little rejection and we're pulling back, but the futures is still looking strong. So I gotta keep an eye on this right now. But when I entered the trade, we were pushing up nicely, somewhere around, let me go down to the 15-minute. Right, so around the time I took the trade, I think we were kind of pushing up, or we pushed up here or something like that. But right now I gotta look at this trade because this oil price is dropping right now, so I gotta look at this trade. And the futures is still doing good though, so that's good. So then let me see, let me drop down to the 4 hour. Let me go and switch over here to the daily Camarilla levels. Right, so now we got the daily Camarilla levels. Because I already showed you that we found support on the monthly. Let me just switch back real quick, make sure I point that out. Right, so you see we found support at the S3 on the monthly Camarilla level, so that's a strong level right there. Let me just mark that real quick. I just label that up, monthly S3. All right, lock that in so it doesn't move. All right, cool. So now switching back to the daily Camarilla levels. So we have that marked out. So you see we hit the monthly S3 right here and we started pushing up. So right now we broke the R3, pushing up strong. The volume is not too great, so let's go down to the 1 hour. Right, so since yesterday we had this big push up in the Canadian JAP. We opened around above S1, pushed off of a S1. Yesterday's close, we pushed past that. This is this purple line right here. Right, so that's yesterday's close. So we pushed up to R2, and then we were kind of teetering right here around to get up to R3. Let's see, 1 second. Let's see where my entry is. I have that over on MT4 here, so give me a second, let me just put that up. Right, so the entry was at 87,503, which was around this candle right here. Alright, so let me just put in the coordinates right here. 87,503. That's the entry right there. The stop loss is 87,363. And then the take profit is 87,731. Alright, so that gives me with 1.63 risk to reward, right? So my target is, well, my entry is the break. Well, I'm anticipating the break of R3, which we got, but now we're getting these wick rejections here. Let me just go down to the 15-minute. Right, so we broke out of R3. Let me just push this to the back. Right, so we pushed up to R3, and that's when I saw, well, like, you know, the futures was real strong. So let's go down to the 15 minutes on the futures. Right, so on the futures, I believe, let me see what time this was. So this was around 2200 hours, that's 10 o'clock New York City time. And let's see where we were at. Right, so I saw like this happening right here with the strong futures pushing up real strong, about to break the R3. So that's when I entered over here on actually, yeah, so that's when I entered here over at CADJPY. So that was my entry right there on this big candle right here. And then we kind of moved sideways a little bit, pushed up again, got through R3. So right now I'm just holding, trying to get to R4. That's how much, let me see how much pips is that. Yeah, so that's 23 pips, risking 13 pips. Right now I'm trying to get this to break even, which would be, let's see where 13 pips is. Alright, so I'm gonna set an alert right here. Although I'm actually going to bed, I ain't staying up and manage this trade, so I'm gonna let this trade run. Hopefully it hit my take profit. and if I could get something close to here before I go to bed, I'ma just trail my stop up to like below R2, so I'm risking less. And I really don't like this price action right now, where it's kind of creating too much wicks here, like to break this level, this sideways movement right here. Although it's still maintaining my entry level and the R3, you know, it's bouncing off of R3 and stuff like that. But I still don't like these rejections, man. Like these rejections on top here, we always coming back and testing R3. Like that's too much testing right now for me, you know what I mean? I don't like that too much. Let's see if I can put on some volume at price. Let's see if I can pull that up. To see where we have some volume levels. Alright, so my computer acting up. They want okay, so there it is. Right, so we can see where the volume is distributed. The volume pointer control, everybody's stepped in around here. I'm late to the party, so I'm moving on my strategy, or I'm entering on the R3 breakout. So these people right here are the volume pointer control, which is this pink line right here. Right, hope you can see that. They entered here, so it's a lot of volume right here. Like they took this like around 7:45. Everybody jumped in, and the price pushed up. And now we had more buyers coming in around this level. You see, as we break these Camarilla levels, we get people entering the trade. And you can see where I entered the trade, we have some volume here as well. So now the volume is increasing here, so the volume pointer control just jumped up to this level because we passed this volume level here, right? So the volume pointer control is now at this level. The pink line jumped up to here. So a lot of people is either, I guess they're buying, because if it was heavy selling pressure like this, we would have probably cascaded down, you know. And actually, this is how the volume pointer control histogram is developed, right? So this whiter area here, or this lighter area, right, in the volume histogram, that's buying volume. And the outer volume, which is like the yellow kind of the kind of yellowish goldish color at the edges of it, that's the selling volume. So if you really look at the histogram properly, you can see that the buying is more than the selling, you know what I'm saying? But you know, as I'm saying that, the buying pressure is coming in, so we gotta see what's up with that. See, we just got an alert here for right, so you see the RSI is dropping, so I just got that alert right there. And I usually set like two kind of lines to gauge like where the RSI is. So I use 55. Hold on. Right, so that's RSI 55, and this is gonna be RSI 45. So it's kind of like it's like borderline over and under like the middle level, you know, which is 50. So I like to see that, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just having like the 50 line right here, I want to see 55 and 45, and in between that I'll know where 50 is. But as we break like 45 levels, then we're dropping down. To me, we're dropping down into the lower levels. When we break 55, then we going up into the higher levels of strength, you know. So you see, as again we're finding support here. You see the wicks at the bottom at R3 right here. We're finding support right here. So Hopefully we don't break below R3, and this is my entry level right here, this white line. And then I have another Camarilla level from the Pivot Boss, which is the one who wrote the book Secrets of a Pivot Boss. So when I turn those on right now, you can see like we have floor pivots as well, like the R1, and then we have let's see this line right here, that's what is that? I think that's, let me see. So that's H5, right? See this line right here, that's H5. Well, actually it could be developing H3, yeah. So you see I just took it off. So I don't want to see the developing H3. So I just took that off, developing H3 and developing L3, which is actually, I call it the R3, right? So developing R3, which R for resistance, and developing S3, which is support. So I just took that off there, so you don't need to see that line. Let's see, let's make sure my H5 is on, or my R5, right? So my R5 and my L5, which is actually, right, so it says H5, but on the Camarilla levels it's actually resistance, so it's R5 and S5. So after you pass this level here on the R4, that's your next target level, which is this level right here, right? That's R5. Let me just make it smaller. So I'm not going that ambitious to catch that target, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to catch R4 right here. And on the floor pivots, that's like between R1 and R2. So the floor pivots is kind of calculated different from the Camarilla levels. It's kind of like bigger levels, wider levels, so to catch those is kind of difficult. You really gotta break out to catch those levels, right? Because the R5 here is still below the R4 on the floor pivots, you know what I'm saying? So Camarilla levels are easier to catch than floor pivot levels. Floor pivot levels are for like real breakouts, you know. And I know my chart is getting kind of clustered and stuff. Some people don't like to have a lot of stuff on their charts, but to me I could work with it, you know. Everything has a meaning, so it doesn't bother me really. And now we're getting this rejection here, coming back to my entry level. Oh, and this video is going up to like, we're almost at 20 minutes, so I don't know people's attention span, if they're willing to listen and, you know, go through the thought process on the trade. But you know, who wants to listen is gonna stick around. The people who don't want to listen, they already left a long time ago. So you see we in a live trade here, pushing down past my so now let's see, yeah, we're dropping hard from this level right here. RSI dropping a lot too. Let's see if we could find some support. Let's drop down to the 5 minutes, see what's going on. So yeah, volume is increasing as well, so this is looking like it's gonna have to test like the yesterday's high, which is this red cross right here. Let me take out my arrow. Right, so you see the red crosses right here. That's yesterday's high. You see it's labeled here YHI. Right, so that's yesterday's high. Alright, so we're getting some support now coming in. You see we have heavy volume right here. Let me pull out the arrow because it keeps messing it up. Yeah. So you see we have a lot of volume in this area right here. We have a little hole like a gap. So this is like low volume, but right before that it's a lot of volume right here. So people who came in around this area, which is actually my entry level, right? We got heavy volume here, so people who want to back up their trade or re-enter or get like another entry level, they could enter again. So that's what they're doing right here. So even though we sell off and we come back to this level, you see they just bought it up again, right? Creating this wick right here. So right, we creating a wick right there. Let's see what it does right now. We are on a 5 minutes, so how much more we got? You can see over here. Let me pull out another arrow. Alright, so you can see over here we got 51 seconds, 45 seconds to go. You see the timer going off right there. So let's see how this candle closes. Right, so it's looking like it's closing with heavy support. If we could bounce back above R3, that would be great, but probably the next candle is gonna bounce over R3. And we close, let's see, we close just below. And then you see this other candle just popped above, so let's see what it does. If we start getting a rejection around this level right here, this R3, that's not a good sign. And for me to go to bed, and I gotta, like, if I go to bed, I want this trade to be above R3, not below R3. So if this continues to show rejection at R3 like this, I think I might just close the trade and call it a day until tomorrow. Because I had some other trades today that was profitable, so no need to lose money while I'm sleeping, you know. I'm looking at the volume right now. The volume is dropping off, so the selling pressure is kind of going away, hopefully, but we're still getting that rejection off of R3. Right, volume is increasing. The RSI cooling back up, trying to push back above 45 again. Alright, so we're back above our tree with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go for this candle to close. So if this candle gets to like above this candle right here, I'll be pleased with that. Yeah, I want it to end up higher than this candle right here. Let's see what this candle could do. We got some volume coming in, so it's looking good. Nice supporting candle here with this hammer candle, so that's nice push up right now. It's moving nice. Yeah, I like that push up right now. I don't like that wick. Don't do that. Just push up. Right, so you see what's happening right now. I'm not feeling that. Volume increased in a lot, so right now we up to this candle's level, but we haven't moved as much as this candle, so I don't like that too much. That means there's still selling pressure in this candle. You see how we wicking out at the top? I might have a decision to make right now. Am I gonna stay in this trade or close it out? And I'm not trading big right now. I'm kind of like just practicing and refining a strategy with my Camarillas and stuff. So it's not really big money on the line or nothing like that. It's just because with Forex is tricky, man. I was kind of just, I guess I wasn't sticking to my strategies and stuff like that. So I had to kind of refocus and get my strategy together. And so right now I got my little strategy together, and I'm kind of sticking to that. I'm being more disciplined, you know. So it's always good to have a good strategy, you know, a solid strategy, and stick with that. You know, you can't be just jumping in anything at any time, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, where everybody jumped in here, maybe that's part of their strategy. But while I'm using Camarilla levels, I'm not jumping in at this level here. No, I'm not jumping in here. And it's like some, you know, prominent traders say, I'm not trying to catch the whole move, just part of it. And you're trying to catch the high probability part of the trade, you know. So when we break R3, this is showing strength, so we could possibly get to R4. When you enter here at between S1 and R1, this is the choppy part of the Camarilla. Anything could happen right here. It could just go sideways, or it could break S1, and when you break S1, that's the beginning of dropping lower. S2, S3, and then S4, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to take, to me that's not a good risk to reward. I wanted to at least break over R1, and then we could look for buys, you know what I'm saying? Or you break R2 to R3, we could look for something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's like a less high probability trade, but it's still above the resistance level. With a resistance level coming up, we at least we're hitting resistance levels, you know. If you're just above S1, then you could just bounce off of R1 if there's no strength and just fall back down, you know what I'm saying? So, or you don't even have to break this level at all. You could just move sideways and just keep going down. Like right now, I don't even draw levels on my my chart anymore. I just use the Camarilla levels. because it's like, you know, it's a mathematical equation using the close, the open, and stuff like that to measure these levels out. So I'm sticking with these equations instead of what I see, like, you know, drawing support here and stuff like that. The support I'm looking for is volume based with this histogram. So I know I got support here, not because we have these wicks here. I'm gonna draw this as like a support level. Like I used to do stuff like this, right? Let me just do this here. So I would look at this level right here, which a lot of people do. Technical traders, a lot of them do this, you know. And you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, it's something like, you know, it just didn't work out for me. It probably worked out for other people, you know what I'm saying? So I used to, let's see, you know, I have them here already, so that's my support zone, and I would be working off of that, you know. And then when I see the resistance on top here, I do this, you know. I say, okay, we got some resistance on top here, we want to break this level. So what happened there? Right. So I draw up this like that and say, all right, we got resistance here, right? Right, like this. That's what I used to do, and I guess a lot of traders do this, you know what I'm saying? So they look at this, okay, this is support, and you know, but really when you look at the volume histogram, this is a hollow point right here. You could fall through here pretty easy. Now the resistance here, the support here, right? There's big volume right here, so that is support. But between this area here, you would still be looking at it like, yo, it's a support zone. But actually there's a big gap in volume right here. We could easily fall through here and then start, you know, tangoing with this support, right? So to me, this is a little more accurate than drawing between here and here as a support zone, you know, because it has more meaning. I'm just drawing a line, but this volume histogram has meaning, more meaning behind it than me just drawing a level, you know. Like right now, this area here is acting like resistance. We're still getting these wicks at the bottom here for support, but we did get them up here as well. So I'm not really liking this trade right now. This trade isn't impressing me right now. What I might do before I go to bed is like, probably like, I want to break even it right now, man, because it's too close. See, I might give it like 10 more minutes. Right now I'm recording this at 2:21 a.m. the 5th of August 2021. I mean, I've been working so much, I'm tired right now, but I haven't done a video for a long time, so I was just, you know, I like doing these videos, man. You know, it gives me, like, talking to y'all gives me a chance to like think through my trades and stuff like that. So when I have this live trade going on, when I speak and I'm thinking about what I'm saying, you know, or my technical analysis and stuff like that, it kind of opens your mind more when you're explaining something. It's not, I wouldn't call myself a teacher. I'm not teaching. I'm just explaining what I'm doing at this point in time. And the more you verbalize it, it kind of, it brings clarity in your mind of you know, the trade and what you're doing and the technical analysis, and you know, you're weighing things in the balance. Like right now I'm looking at, we back at my entry point. Should I break even this trade? Should I not? What am I looking at here? I'm looking at volume dropping off. Although we're still pushing down to my entry level, volume is falling off, right? We still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds for this candle to finish or to close, and we're showing signs of wick rejection. So this is good. It's a good thing that we have wick rejection around this this level right here, because just like me, a lot of people was anticipating this break and they jumped in. So you see the high volume level right here. Look how far volume came in. So we should have good support right here. You see all of this support right here. All of this is volume right here. The first gap we have is down here, and before we even got there, we hit support, right? And even if we fall down, like you see my stop loss, right? My stop loss area, it's full of volume support, right? So I could go to bed and leave this trade, but I don't want to really take that risk. And I had some other trades today that was successful, so I'm not trying to give away my profit too much, you know. Although it's not really big profit, I'm just practicing these trades, so you know. But right now I'm liking these wicks to the bottom. This is showing support for this for the price action. These wicks right here, and they're getting higher, you know, right at my entry level. But we need to close above R3 and hold above there, man. I need to see like a nice blue candle hold above this area and try and hit this low volume area and just push through. Oh, and let's take a look at the futures chart and see what's up with that. So we got some volume coming in, not volume, I mean, sorry. We got some wick support here, wick rejections at this level right here. Let's see if I could put in some volume at price VAP. Turn on my pivot boss camera levels. So let's see. So this is the volume pointer control right here, this pink line. So you see we hitting support right there. Let me just check some. What's this white line right here? Let me check some. Alright, so that's the developing point of control. Right, so this white line right here, that's the developing point of control, and this is the volume point of control. So this one is developing and this one is the volume point of control. Let me see, let me make that big. I don't know how big it looks on the screen when I record it. To me it looks huge because I'm in front of a how many inches is this? I think it's like it's a 43-inch monitor. I just want to see the big picture, you know what I'm saying? So we see with the volume at price, we have massive volume coming in here at this level. And the volume pointer control for yesterday is coming through right here, so we bought a lot at this level. Bought up every time it came down, bought up, dropped below it a little bit, came right back, bought up again. But I guess we have some resistance at this level up here. Let's see what that is. Let's go back a little bit. Right, so we're on the 1 hour chart. Let's see where we finding this resistance at. Let's look to the left and see where we're getting this resistance. Let's see if we fell from this area before. You see right here, we fell from that area before. So we had some resistance to play with right here. Well, to go up against, not play with, you know what I'm saying? So we had this first wick rejection, pull back, wick rejection, pull back, went down a little bit, pushed up again, wick rejection, pull back, until we finally got enough power to push past it. And I guess we hit the peak here and we just came right back down. So it's like a, if you really, let me go up to the 4 hour. And let me take off some of this stuff here. Kind of clean it up a little bit so you can see the chart better. So looking at it now from this point of view, it's kind of like a breakout and retest of this level, and we're supposed to push up now again. Let's see what it does. And I think this is the problem here. You see the oil price right now. I think that's the problem with this with this CADJPY trade, right? That's why we're getting this fight right here. Because if you look at the UK oil price, that's Brent crude oil. We got this push down right here. Let's see if I can let me turn on some volume at price, see what's going on here. So we have a lot of volume in this area. Volume pointer control is here. A lot of volume here. We were pushing down, right? So this is part of technical analysis with volume, right? If we push down and then we have these massive volume levels here, this is support. That's how you use VAP, right? You see it's support because we pushed up from this level. So all these buyers who came in here, they caught that. They're holding support of the price coming down. So they're like, yo, this is a good entry level, right? Because they're trying to push the price back up. But now sellers are still slamming on it a little bit, you know? So right now we at the bottom where they found support. We at that level right now. So will they get support again? That's the question, you know. But I really like you know, reading charts and doing technical analysis and stuff like that. And right now I'm getting carried away because it's 2:30 a.m. and I gotta go sleep. So I could probably stay here for like hours just talking about this and just, you know, sitting through the trade, but I don't really have time for that, man. I gotta get some sleep. Alright, so what y'all think, man? We holding above R3. We just closed above R3. Let's see what this candle closes as. If we get the volume coming in, we had this is huge volume here, man. I gotta pay attention to this right here. This huge volume bar right here. I don't think that candle really matches the amount of volume that went into this candle. But maybe people are gonna, like, sometimes, like, you know, the market makers and stuff, they jump in on the trade and it causes this to happen, right? Like major volume, because they throw a lot of money behind it, right? And then when we see us as independent traders and even hedge funds and stuff like that, when they see the price action moving up, let me pull out my arrow because this keeps messing up. Yeah, when they see like price pushes up and it's above the technical level, even though the volume isn't coming in, like how when the market makers, or I guess the central banks, dove in, they're still gonna dive in because they see the price moving up just off of what they did, right? So they're buying. They're gonna, the central banks and stuff, or big money players, whoever it is who has billions to throw in. When they throw in and they make the volume go to these extreme levels, in the next candle we don't have as much volume because they already entered, right? But now what's going to happen is us, the independent traders, the hedge funds, stuff like that, they're going to keep the price moving up, but it's not as much money behind the move, right? So I used to think, well, okay, because I read Anna Coulin's book, volume price analysis. So one of the things she stated was like, when you see big volume and then like the next candle is kind of similar but is lacking as much volume, right? You got to remember too, like, okay, it's like you're gonna say, well, okay, this is a false move or it's a false breakout, which it could be, right? But you got to keep in mind what I just said. There could be, it's just a big money order went in that made this happen, and now where the small money, or less money, is gonna follow suit, so we're not gonna be able to make the volume bar be as big, right? But the price is gonna move up because we're buying, you know what I'm saying? So it's something you gotta be aware of. Instead of thinking sometimes it's a false breakout, it could be just that it's big orders went in, you know what I'm saying? And that now that the big orders already went in, we gotta jump in a lot to match those big orders, to make the volume match what they did. Like here right now, we're up to the level we were at before they jumped in. You see that? But could we get this extra right here? It's going to be kind of tough because it's billions of dollars went in there. And that's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no guru or nothing like that. I'm learning myself, man. Reading a lot of books and trying to be, self-taught and hopefully become an expert at this shit, So right, you see what happened with this candle here? We got up to, let's call it retail volume. This is more like central bank volume, right? We got up to retail volume. Let's call it that. So you see where they get up to these levels here? You see how much movement we have? Now if we're judging from this, right? Look at this candle here. Look at the volume we got on this, right? Oh man, I messed that up. Hold on. So let's see how far we got. So we got 6.5 pips, right? Now with roughly the same volume and more, right? Let's see. Right, so roughly the same volume, right? Let's see how much we got under this candle. So we only got 2.2 pips. So you see it doesn't really add up, right? So that's the kind of volume price analysis you gotta look at. So is it a false move? Are they just setting you up for the okie doke? Like they're gonna catch people just jumping in now for the buys, and then they're gonna just sell, they're gonna just dump, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't add up to this volume here. When they jumped in, they got like how much did I say? 6 point some pips. And then when they jumped in again, it's like the same candle, right? Let me see with the second candle here what they got. They got like, yeah, like 6 pips. So it's like roughly the same volume, just a little bit less, but they got the result for it, right? Now we had the same volume and we only got 2.2 pips, so it doesn't really make sense, right? So those are the anomalies that like Anna Coolin she teaches in her book. So you gotta be aware of that, like when they're trying to set you up. Because right now, like with this here, we're getting volume coming in, but we're still getting these wicks at the top. So why is there so much selling if there's buying pressure? If you all are behind the move, why are we not pushing past? You know what I'm saying? So if it's, let's say, okay, if we're gonna get 6 pips off of this, right? Let's see where we should have been. Right, so you see where we should have been. Oh, let me see if I can. Oh man, it disappears. Hold on, I'm gonna draw the level. See, start at the bottom here. 6 pips. Right. Alright, so we were supposed to have a candle going up to that red line right there to match that volume. Right, so this candle, if it was to match the volume of this candle right here, we were supposed to get up past this level that I wanted us to break. This candle, this volume was enough to get there, and we barely get to 1/3 of that level, really. So with that being said, this is what I'm gonna do. See, I'm gonna go on MetaTrader 4 to fix this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break even this trade. Alright, so I'm gonna break even this trade on MetaTrader 4. Let's see, hold on. And if they want to stop me out, they stop me out. It's all good. Alright, so you heard that right there, right? So I just break even the trade. Those who familiar with MetaTrader 4, you know, when you hear that kind of thump, that's when you actually did something, you know what I'm saying? Just in case you think I was just bullshitting, I ain't really in no trade, you know. I don't know how some of these people, like, you know, these traders on YouTube where they say they do all this technical analysis and stuff like that, and they never even enter any trades, you know what I'm saying? They just make YouTube videos to I guess just to hear themselves talk and make technical analysis and, you know, gather subscribers on YouTube, you know. But it's all good, each to their own, you know. It's like analysts, like stock analysts and stuff like that. They give you a bunch of ideas about what to do, but most of them never even trade. They couldn't trade their own plan. Like the stuff they're telling you about, they couldn't trade their own plan, you know, because trading and talking about trading is two different things totally. Alright, damn, we coming up on an hour on this, man. It's 2:42 a.m. Alright, I gotta close this trade. I already broke even my trade, so y'all stay tuned. Y'all check out y'all charts, see what happened with this trade. You see my target was 87.731. So if we don't get to, let me see, what's my break even level? 87512, right? So y'all can check that out. Do I get stopped out or do I hit my target level? 87512 is my stop loss. Alright, y'all, it's your boy King Yadiya, aka King Solomon, staying wise in life and in these markets. And y'all trade safe and stay blessed.